Today is garage door day. The guys are setting up right now, and they don't anticipate any issues. It should go pretty well. Let's see. The guys did a really nice job today. The hardware went in really nicely. It was really interesting to watch them. I'm glad we hired it out. It would have been difficult for us to figure out exactly how to do everything. And they just made it look so easy, but it isn't. There's just a lot of stuff that they know that wouldn't have been obvious to us. The door goes up really nicely right now and seals very nicely on the bottom. They were impressed that it was so level, which made me really happy because, man, I remember smoothing that all out by hand in order to get that threshold in there in the right spot and to give a nice clean surface to put the concrete against. So we get a really nice seal on the bottom. Everything stacks really nicely. It was square, it was plumb, and everything worked really well. The only thing that sucks is we have this white trim, and it's ugly as hell with a brown door. But that's okay, it's temporary. Once we actually put the real siding on this, we'll pop this guy off and replace it with either a wood tone or a brown weather stripping. But it's perfectly fine for now. It'll keep us mostly airtight and definitely watertight all winter long. Let's see how it comes down. It goes up easier than it comes down. But it doesn't come down that hard. So the door actually shipped with a, I don't know how to describe it. The rod up top was a solid core rod, and then it had this coupler in the middle that connected the two. The guys had told me to put a 2x12 up top for the spring pad there, but it wasn't big enough. So they actually got a hollow rod that went the entire length and used that instead. That's really the only problem with the whole install. And like I said, they provided the hollow core rod there for free. So, you know, their mistake and they made good on it. But if we do add weight to the door and need to update the springs with stronger springs, then we may want to go back to the solid. We're both really happy. Every time we get a big chunk of wall done, it's just, wow, that's cool. And we like the color. I mean, it matches the roof, right? And it's gonna match the service doors. That'll be the only brown on the whole building is the roof, the big door, and the service doors. And then we'll certainly use other stuff elsewhere. I found a couple pictures online that I like as inspiration for this building. I'll show you those. Next on the docket is the southern wall here, which is coming along. While they were working on the door, I was able to frame the first window here. So this first window is 72 inches wide by 18 inches tall. That's the rough opening. The bottom two for the sill are tilting outward at a 5-degree angle. That's kind of our insurance. If any water ever gets behind the window or into the window, that 5 degrees should be enough for to let it drain and then go down the zip sheathing to the ground and away. So that's the plan there. Started doing the measurements over here as well. It's going pretty well, not too complex, but we want to get all 4 of these framed before we start the sheathing on that wall. The holes as they are now are just way too big to sheath over. But these guys, yeah, we can definitely sheath over that without any concern.
You better give me that. You better give me that.
All 4 windows on the south wall are framed up. It went pretty well. Nothing's perfect, but it's definitely good enough. We'll have to level the windows out when we put them in the rough opening and really lock things in, but it should be just fine. We're now gonna move on to sheathing this southern wall here. It's gonna be a little challenging because we have rafters and purlins in the way, so it's kind of limiting how high we can get the scaffolding out here. think that'll do it for the day. We figured we'd get as much done in this bay as absolutely possible before disassembling the scaffolding, move it over, and reassembling it there. That's probably the way to make the fewest number of trips and save the most time. And it seems to work pretty well. Tomorrow we're expecting 7 inches of snow. It's gonna be our biggest snowstorm yet. So that's gonna put a damper on our sheathing, probably. We might be able to get something done outside. Otherwise, we're gonna be working inside on the ceiling and some other stuff inside. If for some reason we can get outside and get another set of sheathing up, that would be awesome.